Greetings. This is Robert Forsch right now at the coast of South Carolina. We've got a and YouTube Truth is the name of the broadcast. Hashtag it if you care to. Within a week, I should have my new logos on the car. Instead of Eternal Perspective, my YouTube channel will simply be called Truth. And I believe that that's going to simplify recognition of my channel as I'm driving all around, as I'm walking around, wherever I am. The reason for that is I want to more accurately bring people to my channel. I want people to understand more of what I'm about. Eternal Perspective, love the sound of it. It would just be too hard to read when I'm driving by. What I'll have on the car, like you can see YouTube in the background there, that's easy to read. Eternal Perspective is kind of hard for people to grasp in an instant. So that's one of the reasons for the name change, and it's actually more than that, because there will be a curiosity for some that are searching for the truth. Fully aware that in the world that we live, there's a tremendous amount of information, and to determine what is true, I believe God's grace is required to love and believe the truth, let alone find it. So as I hashtag truth or create a title that I hashtag in the title, it goes into a reservoir of information. Documentaries that expose the reality of the world that we're looking at. Right now in the view, we've got Hurricane Michael approaching this location in South Carolina, and right now there's winds of probably 30-35 miles an hour, and later on today we'll probably likely see double that. So when I make a proclamation that there's weather modification that's going on, they're actually creating and moving storms. Who are they? Well, the deep state, the shadow government. It goes by a lot of names, but it involves the Masons, the Illuminati, and all of that. And to some of you, that may sound crazy. Okay, well, you've got some research to do, or just scroll on by and believe whatever you want. The red pill, blue pill analogy of the Matrix, the rabbit hole does get very deep, and there's information. The truth is available for those who seek it with all their heart. I recently attended the Skyfall Conference in Alabama, enjoyed it immensely, met just a wonderful group of like-minded individuals that are truth seekers, and I believe in many cases have found the truth of the world that we actually live in. There's a lot of mystery with some of the different actual conspiracies. Suffice it to say, what we do have is an assault on humanity by the fallen one, Lucifer. Now many call him Satan. He is a fallen angel that has a family that encompasses his children, Satan's children, and also the fallen angels. A third of the fallen angels were cast out of heaven to this earth that we now live in. And we have the wandering stars that left their original post. What God originally designed for them to do. I do believe still that nothing happens in this world that God doesn't directly cause or allow. That may be a real challenge for some of you to consider. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and go over to a YouTube live broadcast. It activates a different mechanism. I'm not going to be leaving YouTube and Facebook. I have no intention of that. There's some people that really absolutely hate what I'm doing and what I'm about, and I understand that. Satan hates that. And yet the God who created me in this world that we live in, gave me and you and many of us the ability to use instantaneous, worldwide, portable communications to expose the reality of the world that we live in. So in my photo album, where I show Robbie Davidson, a very talented author, movie producer, produced films that are on my YouTube channel. The Global Lie was instrumental in me understanding the reality of the world that we live in. In that, some of the photos that are at the picnic, you can see Robbie and Matt Long, and the Nathan Roberts and Nathan Thompson, holding their cameras, their phones, and recording others. A part of what I want you to embrace is the reality that there's talented movie producers that have created quality content that very specifically exposes many of the actual lies that are going on in the world that we live in today. And then people like myself can take that and post it to my YouTube channel, and I do that. I have a lot to say, as many of you who know me are aware of that. And I also produce content where I don't mention anything. I don't say anything. I'll use the P1000 camera and show what the water looks like when it's undisturbed and when it is disturbed. But I'll take it right down on the water. And I'll do that right out here at right now there's a lot of wind blowing the water in, and yet we can still see the crisp horizon, the x-axis from left to right there. There's no visible curvature there at all. This water doesn't conform to a ball. So that's actually a really big deal, because the water and the reality in the Bible expose the global lie. You see, we can't live on a globe. That's not even possible. Some say, well, the world is round. Oh, yeah, I had a little sticky thing on there. But even though the shape of the container is curved, and we can clearly see that, the water undisturbed will be flat and level. That's one of the reasons why I show that so much. Like, I'll have it on my car. I did at the conference there in Auburn, at the Skyfall conference, because it creates a lot of curiosity. I do like to activate my water with some solar impact on it. I have a picture of this with Robbie Davidson smiling in the background. He said it. He said, "I see through the global lie." And I want other people to do that as well. And his content has very powerfully impacted me and many other people. How many millions of people have seen that? I don't know. Is the counter accurate? His channel has over 16 million views. Robbie personally has many millions more than that because of the content that he's in and what he shares. So some of the numbers that were presented may not accurately represent the reality of the situation here. That's important to know. I continually try to work around limitations. One of the limitations I had with my iPhone 10 was the fact that there was a connection problem with the microphone that I was using and the charging system. So I wasn't able to broadcast the Bible for 12 hours like I did previously. Another problem is that it would break up, and I couldn't even do an auditory broadcast like this. So that's where I got the AirPods that are connected with the Bluetooth link. I've got a microphone in each one and a charging case for these. I believe the sound is very accurate, very good. Now I'm going to show you something a little bit different. I'm going to step outside purposely to let you hear what happens with all the wind. Oh, here. Let's do it like this. I purposely didn't, and because I wanted to just let you hear the wind. So when I'm going from here to home, people will eventually see YouTube and then the large letters truth underneath that. It'll be easy to read in forward and reverse, and in a moment people will be able to recognize what that word actually is. Truth. In this world, in the ocean of information that's out there, there's a lot of deception. They're lying, I ain't buying. That's what's going on with that. And so what I have is on my liked video playlist over 1,300 videos, approaching 1,400, that have some of the conspiracies that are going on that I believe people should be aware of. And what I'm going to do is also create playlists that are going to more accurately capsulize information, including just the beauty of creation and the sound of it. Beautiful sunrises where it appears that the sun is in the midst of the clouds. I believe that's biblical. As best I can tell, like there's no extension cord coming from the sun. It's not plugged into anything like that. It's there's a lot of mystery around the sun and the moon. I don't see a light beam coming from somewhere else to the location of the sun. I believe it's actually the source itself, and then it circulates above the face of the stationary Earth. So in some of my videos, I'll actually change the name of a video, and it may more accurately explain what I believe it is. So when I hashtag truth and it's the Gospel of John, I believe that is very important truth that people should be aware of. So what I'm going to do right now is end the broadcast. Thank you so much for your public and private support. I'm going to go over to YouTube in just a little bit and create a video and see what kind of views happens between the YouTube live broadcast and a Facebook converted to a YouTube broadcast. So I will go ahead and post that to my Facebook channel or a Facebook page as well, so you can see that if you care to. This is Robert Forsch. Thank you so much for your public and private support. Give me a call anytime. And as always, I encourage everybody to hear, share, and of course, obey God's word.